Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey, and today we're going to work on the Simply Shawl, another free pattern available by Yarnspirations.com. So let's begin today and decipher this pattern. This is a really easy shawl. You can see it's got some beautiful spray work at the end with some beautiful shells, and this area in the middle is so simple it's not even funny. So without further ado, let's break down this pattern together. You'll need 4 balls of Caron Simply Soft yarn to play today and a size H 5mm crochet hook. So before running this tutorial, I've made the full sample here without the border, so I'm gonna do the border with you live on camera, but I've done all the legwork as far as this main section that is consisting of 99 rows. So what we have here is that when we go to look at it, we have the sprays. Okay, there are shell work and then 3 double crochet and then a shell and then 3 double crochets. So this is gonna take you a little bit of time in order to make this. This is quite a long sample. It's 68 inches, well about 68 inches with the border, so it's quite a long sample that you're here, but it's not a complicated pattern. So if you're looking at the diagram format of this, what happens is that you just chain up 3 and then 2 more double crochets in the next 2 and then a shell. So skipping 2 and then go to the middle, do a shell, skipping 2, 3 double crochets, and you do that all the way across just like this. When you go then up to the next row, just chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, double crochets in the others, and then you put the next shell in the middle one of the shell below, and then you keep building on that as you go, and that's the whole panel just like you see here. So we have to do a certain amount of rows of this, and the very last row is slightly different, and there's gonna be some single crochets starting us off. So I'm gonna show you a smaller example just like here, and then I'm gonna take you to the border here where I have done my sample here, and I'll show you how I apply a border to this here. So you can see it's actually really quite a beautiful thing because the luster of the quality of the yarn by Caron Simply Soft, you'll see that it will work up quite beautifully and it will drape magnificently as well. So without further ado, let's grab some yarn. Let's teach you how to do this pattern, and then let's do the border together. For demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna use a different color here, and then I'm gonna take it to the border on the real sample because I'm just gonna get you started here because this is such a long panel to do. So what you have here is that you're just gonna start off with a slip knot, and you're using Caron Simply Soft yarn and a 5mm size H crochet hook. You want to chain a total of 68 in order to get this complete. So you'll want to do that, and so what you just have to do is just chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 68 for me, and meet me back here in just a moment. So now that you have your chain 68, you're going to now move across your chain and do your first one. So second chain from the hook, so just count back, so 1 and 2, turn it over and get the back loop only of the chain, and I want you to single crochet yourself all the way back across your chain. For tutorial purposes, my sample on screen is gonna be a lot smaller than your sample, and because I've already done the homework in order to get the full sample done. So just single crochet all the way back across your chain and meet me back here in just a moment. So this is the end of row number 1, and this is so important because you have to do so many counts. Okay, so this is row number 1 when you're counting later on. So we're gonna begin now. All the next rows will always be the same, but what we have to do is get it started first before we can consider that. So we're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and we're gonna double crochet into the next 2 stitches that you see. We're just establishing this pattern now so that we can stack all the rest of this stitches on top of each other without any issues at all. So now you have a total of what appears to be 3, which is right. Skip 2 and go to the 3rd and put in 5 double crochets into that 3rd one over. This will create a shell for you. Okay, so once your shell is in, then what you're just gonna do is skip 2, go to the 3rd, and then this one plus 2 more will then be your 3 double crochets in a row again. Okay, so it appears that you have a shell and then 3 double crochets, and you're gonna continue that same idea going all the way across. So to begin again, you were just going to just skip 2, 1 and 2, go to the 3rd and do a shell, which is 5 double crochet, and then you're going to skip 2, 1 and 2, and the final 3 that you'll end up on this once you get all the way to the other side will just be 1 double crochet each. So this is considered row number 2. which is so important. So let me show you how to do row number 3, which is the repeat all the way to the top, and then we're gonna meet you at the top at that point. So turning our work, and let's do row number 3. So row number 3 is exactly what you just did, but the only difference is that you're gonna work in the middle of the shell work. Okay, so let's chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and where you see double crochets in the rows below, it'll be double crochet again. So just right over top, the next stitch is a double crochet and its friend right next door. So here's your shell. You're going to go to the middle one of the shell and put another 5 double crochets in to keep those shells building on top of each other. Okay, so then once you get that done, then you just jump over and see your next group of 3 double crochets right there. Okay, you're just gonna put in 1 double crochet each. So these shells just build on top of each other. I know it's hard to see it in that model sample, but it's really quite beautiful and really quite easy once you get the hang of this pattern. So here's another shell. So continuing all the way across, you just go to the middle of that shell and put in another 5 double crochets. And then continue along all the way to the other side, and once you get there, you'll notice that you'll end up with your 3 double crochets that will sit by itself. So skipping all the rest of it, go to the 3 double crochets and put in 1 double crochet each. Just like that. So what I want you to do is that we have to complete so many rows. So right now we are in row number 3. You have to go to all the way to row number 98. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, go all the way to row number 98 using this last stitch one that you just did. Okay, the last stitch instructions, go all the way to 98, and then what we're gonna do then is that we're gonna turn our work, and then we're on row number 99. Okay, I might as well do it here. So you're just gonna chain up 1, row number 99, and then you're just gonna single crochet yourself all the way across, and this will bring balance to this panel at the end. So you're just gonna single crochet all the way, and what I'm gonna do then is that I'm gonna take you then to the actual sample that I'm working on, and I'm gonna show you how to do the 3 rounds that complete the border for this entire project. So the very 99th one, you're just going to single crochet. Do not fasten off, just keep your work on there, and we're going to then move across and then all the way around in 3 revolutions in order to complete that beautiful shawl that you see. Okay, so you're gonna go all the way across with single crochet. So when I come back, I'll pull back my sample that I'm working on, and we'll begin starting to the border at that point. So welcome to the border portion. I just came across and I single crocheted like I just showed you here on the real sample, and then what I'm gonna do now is turn my work, and we're going to begin the first round of the border. So turn around this. We're gonna go along the short edge first, and then we're gonna work our way down the side like so, do the other bottom edge, and then work our way back up into a complete revolution. So without further ado, let's begin the first round. So let's begin our first revolution as we go all the way around. So we're going to start up, and I'm going to get you started on this on the side edge, and then I'm gonna jump over then to the next side, and then we're going to then move along down to the bottom and then back up the other side. So to begin, all we just need to do is that we need to chain up 1 and 1 single crochet into the very first one. Now there's an inconsistency of numbers that exists on these edges. So on the short edges where the shells are facing up, then there's a difference of stitch counts, and there will be at the other side at the same time, and the ones that are on the side are all consistent. Now they've done that on purpose because of the beautiful spray work. So here's how it works. You're going to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and you're only gonna skip 1 stitch the first time, and you'll see this in the written instructions as well, and then you're gonna carry on. So here's the repeat pattern that you have to worry about. You're gonna chain 2, so they're all gonna have chain 2s anyway, but what we're gonna do this time is that we're gonna skip 2 stitches, and then we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches again, 1 and 2, and go to the third. Okay, and then this time we're gonna chain 2 and only skip 1 stitch. So skip 1 only and go to the next. So that's your repeat pattern going across this edge plus the opposite side at the bottom. So here we go again. So let's try it again. So chain 2, you're gonna skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, go to the third. Chain 2, skip 2 more stitches, 1 and 2, go to the third, and single crochet, and then finally chain 2, skip only 1 stitch, and then go to the next. I'm gonna do that one more time for you. So that's your repeat pattern. So chain 2, skip the next 2, 1 and 2, chain 2, skip the next 2 and single in, and then chain 2 and skip only 1 and then single crochet into the next. Please do that all the way along this edge. So as you get all the way to the other side, there should be a total of 25 of these chain 2 spaces going all the way around, or sorry, all the way across this edge. And now we're gonna turn and go down the opposite side. So these are down the side of the rows. To begin this, it's all very simple. This time is 1 and 2. So chain up 2 and then go into the first side post, okay, here of the row, and single crochet, and then chain 2 and then go to the next one. So just pull it up and just go into the side, and you're gonna do that all the way across. So chain 2 and pull up the next one and just go into the side. Please do that all the way for this edge. So as you come all the way down, then you're going across the rows on the side, and now you're back to here and you're about to come on to the first layer here. So chain up 2 first and then go to your first single crochet that is right at the very start of your row. So now you're gonna continue like you did before, but on this side, and it's the same counts as you did before. So it's chain up 2, okay, skip 1 and single crochet into the next, and then chain 2, skip 2, so 1 and 2, go to the third and single crochet, chain 2 and then skip 2, go to the third, and then the repeat pattern starts again. So chain 2, skip 1, okay, so it's just skip 1 and like that. Okay, so let's just review that one more time. So you skipped over 2, skipped over 2, skip 1. So try it again. So chain 2, skip 2, 1 and 2, go to the third, okay, chain 2, skip 2, go to the third, and then finally chain 2 and skip 1, go to the skip 1, go to the second. So do that same thing all the way across. There should be 25 of these going all the way from the 25 of these chain 2 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you'll have a total of 25 of those. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave then the other side for you. So do the same thing. So chain 2 after you get to the end, and then come down and do your sides like you had already before, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So now I'm coming all the way back around, and this is where it started, right on this corner here, and I've chained 2 and I'm coming into the side of the last one here in the row, and to complete this round, chain up 2 and slip stitch to the beginning single crochet that you'd started with, just like that. So now we're gonna go around again, doing row number 2, and now the hard work's really done with all this extra counting in order to get it because the counting's kind of off balance that you might feel that it is, but now it becomes a lot easier from this point forward. There's just gonna be a lot more work, I guess a lot more work when it comes to making those shells, but that's what makes this particular shawl so desirable. So let's move on to round number 2 of doing the border. So in round number 2 of the border, there's going to be some large shells, and then there's going to be some spacing that separates them, and you're going to go all the way around. Okay, so even if you hit the corner, when you're just following these chain 2 spaces, even if it turns a corner, it doesn't matter, that's still a chain 2, and you just follow it all the way around. It's actually really quite an easy pattern to be able to manage. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna slip stitch into the first chain 2 space. We're in the single crochet right now, but we're gonna slip stitch to the first chain 2 to put us into that space, and now we're gonna do the first starting of the shells. So we're gonna chain 6, which counts as 1 double treble and chain 1. So let's just do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's your double treble, and 6 is your chain 1. So now we're gonna double treble into this particular stitch 5 more times, but we're gonna make sure they're separated with a chain 1 first. That's why you've done a double treble plus a chain 1 right here. So you gotta wrap that hook 3 times for a double treble, and then what we're gonna do is just go right into that same chain 2 space and pull through, and then keep pulling through 2, pull through 2, 2 and 2, and then what you're gonna do is chain 1 and do another treble. So there's a total count of 6 of these trebles, or double trebles, that are inside. So wrap that hook 3 times going into the same space, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2, and then chain 1 and do it again. So wrapping 3 times. So this border is gonna be really quite lush and lovely, and then chain 1. Okay, so you have a total of 4 double trebles that you can see so far. So let's wrap again 3 times and do another double treble. chain 1 and do it again. So you should be able to count a total of 6 of these double trebles. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and before you're finished with this shell, then what you have to do is chain 1 first. So now you're gonna come back down to earth here and come back down to the border, skip the next chain 2 space and go to the third one over and single crochet in to that space. Okay, so that'll pull it around. So now we're gonna continue along the side, or sorry, along the edge. So we're gonna chain 1 first, you're gonna skip the next chain 2 space and go to the next one after that, and you're gonna do your double trebles. So you're gonna do a total of 6 of them that are separated by those chain 1s. So there's 1 treble, double treble, chain 1, and you keep doing that. Okay, so chain 1 after each one when you do these double trebles. Just as easier to remember to do it right away. And you're doing it all within that same space, and you're looking for that magic count of 6 that exists. So you can currently see 4. So chain 1, okay, and do it again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you chain 1 after it. So you come back down to earth here on the border, skip the next chain 1 or chain 2 space and go to the next one after that and single crochet in, and then chain 1, skip the next chain 2 space and go to the second one over and begin the double treble. I want you to do that all the way around. It doesn't matter if it's even turning around on a corner. It doesn't matter. You just continue to go in the same fashion, and all of your stitch counts should work out as you're going all the way around on this. So I'll see you at the end of this round, and then what we'll do is then we'll do the final border round, which is a little bit of work, but it's what gives it the magnificent work that you see that the model is wearing. So without further ado, let me get you to the end of this, and I'll see you at the end, and we'll continue and do that last bit together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1, skip the next chain 2 space, go to the second over and single crochet, chain 1, and begin that all over again. So this is what it will look like once you have it all put together, and then we're gonna come back and do a final border. I'll see you in just a bit. So I've now come all the way back around, and I slip stitched to the top here of the chain 5. There was chain 6, remember I did to the 5th one in order to keep the shells looking good. So now it's the final revolution. It's round number 3. So our first spot that we have to do is that we have to slip stitch the first chain 1 space. So slip stitch over first, then chain 1, and then single crochet into that same chain 1 space, just like that. So now we're gonna create a picot. So picot is P-I-C-O-T. It's called picot, and you're gonna chain 3. So watch how you do it. So 1, 2, and 3, and slip your hook into, see these 2 strings right here? Just slip in behind. Okay, so go right through, yarn over, pull through and through, and that's a picot, and it's gonna create this little nubbly thing that's gonna be on the edge of your shells. So immediately jump to the next chain 1 space and single crochet first, and then another picot. So it's chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then slide into that same space that I just showed you before, and then yarning over and through, and then go to the next chain 1 space. And the reason why I'm showing you all these is that you have to do something in between. So single crochet first, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then picot it. So go into that same space, pull through and through. Okay, go to the next one. So single, 1, 2, and 3, and slide in, pull through and through, and then do your last one here. So this is the last post here of this one here coming out. So do the very last one first. So single crochet, and then chaining of 1, 2, and 3, and then just slide in. So that's your last picot. So now what you're gonna do is now you're gonna single crochet yourself the remaining until you get over here. So you're gonna go into this chain 1 space here, single crochet right here, then you're gonna go into this next one right here. Okay, gonna go into that next one right here and single crochet, and then you're gonna go into this next space and single crochet, and that's where your picot will start once again. Okay, so let's just follow this up a little closer, quickly. So chain 3, it's your picot, and then you move to the next one. So the picots take a little bit of getting used to if you've never done it before. So single crochet, chain 3, and slide in, and it does that beautiful look that you have on this. So move to the next one, single crochet, chain 3, and go into the next one. And I'm showing you this twice so I can show you what happens in between one more time. Then come to the last one here. 1, 2, 3. So watch where we're gonna single crochet. So just pull them apart. Okay, so you see this space and this space, so you got a single crochet into that space right here. Then go into the other side here, single crochet, and then single crochet. So you got your second one in, the third one is right here. Okay, so it's right in that first chain 1 space, and you're gonna single crochet in, and you want to make sure that you got that in, and then you do your picot. So it told you in the instructions, if you're following along, it says that you're single crocheting 3 in a row and then picot. So it's not 3 empty single crochet by itself without a picot. It's 1, 2, the third is the beginning of the first picot. So you just got to watch for that in order to have that make sense for you, and then you just keep on moving across just like this. So you're just gonna move all the way around using the same technique, and then when you get done, just fasten off and your particular shawl is done. So this is Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations.com. I'm gonna keep working on this off camera so that I can get it done for a photo shoot, and then I'm gonna toss it in my Yarnspirations charity bin where my samples go in order to donate it to charity. So until next time, have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon, and thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you. Bye-bye.